Welcome to Hostile Therapy on Thursday. Waiting on the other compatriots to get in here. Everybody's late today. They're on color people time. I need people on white people time today. What's going on? What's going on there in the Hostile Therapy land? Tonight we're going to be talking about Ciara and Russell Wilson and a couple other things. Let's see what we got on the docket. I got to put the banner up here. Let's see. Stories we got today. Story about I think she's a Latina, she might be Saudi Arabian, Muslim who was faking her identity, kind of like Rachel Dolezal did a couple years ago. Rachel Dolezal, as we know, she worked with the NAACP, did a lot of great things for the NAACP, which kind of makes it sad that she faked her race. She started off, she started as African American and one part of the year, and then she ended up back white. She was born to white parents, and for whatever reason, I think she didn't like her parents. She had a problem with her parents, and then she rebelled and then decided to turn black. Not sure what's the point of doing that. I know some people rebel and do different things. Some people go to drugs. Some people date people that their parents wouldn't approve of. And in her case, she turned white. I don't know if that ever goes the other way. Does anybody who's black, who doesn't like their parents, who rebels against their parents, do they ever turn white? Has there ever been a case like that? I don't know. Did Stacey Dash do that? I don't know if that's what happened with her childhood, whatever, but does anybody actually go turn white? Why does nobody ever turn Mexican? Nobody ever turns Chinese. Everybody wants to turn black. I know people who pretend or act white, but no one actually goes out, and at least not nowadays, no one actually goes out and turns completely white, except for Sammy Sosa. That dude turned pink. Like all the way pink. He didn't even turn white. He turned pink. But he did that later in life, and people already saw what he was. He was a famous baseball player. And I think towards his 50s, he bleached his skin to, I don't know, it's probably going to age me a bit. If anybody remembers Mike Tyson Punch-Out, there was a guy on there called Soda Popinski that was a pink boxer. That is what Sammy Sosa looks like now. So he doesn't even look white. And of course, there are some people, some pundits of his that will say, well, if it's not harming you, what do you care about it? You know? A lot of things don't harm me. That doesn't mean I can't say anything about it. I can have an opinion about whoever I want to, whoever I damn well please. Hey, what's up, Breezy?
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing. We're just going over some of the people that are going to be related to some of the stories we're going to talk about later. Talking about Rachel Dolezal and Sammy Sosa. I don't know if you've seen what Sammy Sosa has done to himself after his baseball career. He's turned pink.
He made himself a light-skinnedness.
He's not even light skinned. He's Pepto Bismol now.
Man,
he's a light skinned Pepto Bismol now.
Believe it or not, I'm seeing a lot of that going on. What's going on, everybody? I thought the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Well, I guess he likes apple juice.
Oh shoot! Oh man, it's bad. What is happening? What is going on?
I don't know. Well, my question was kind of like, because the story we're going to deal with later on is it's a Muslim, part Hispanic, part something else. I will get into it once we get to the story. She was faking her race, and then I went into Rachel Dolezal. I was like, I don't ever hear too many people that, and I was talking about her background where she kind of rebelled against her parents. And you know how some people rebel against their parents, they go into drugs or they date somebody their parents don't approve of. And I was like,
Right.
in her case, she rebelled and just turned white, well, turned black in her case. And does anybody ever do the reverse? Like, did anybody ever rebel as a black person, black teenager, and turn white? I heard of acting white, but did they turn white?
They probably do try to make their skin very pale. I believe that. Try to make it very, very light.
Right.
Um,
But you know what I'm saying? Well, like, I don't know if she is at the point where, like, I know there's people who hate their skin. I don't
right.
know if that was the case with her, or she just want to feel like she belonged to somebody. Maybe she didn't feel like she belonged with her parents. You know, like they hated her so much that she didn't feel like she belonged to that family. And black people are so forgiving, and we take anybody in almost. We, you know, because we got that phrase, invite them to the barbecue. If it feel like I don't know
Uh,
what is the white version of that. What, invite them to the credit union? What is that? What do white people say when we're, you know, good with them?
I
Mexicans
don't know.
probably say welcome.
I don't to the bar mitzvah. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, that would be Jewish people, I guess. You know, Irish people welcome to the bar. I don't know.
Invite them to the wedding. Let them come. They can come to the wedding. I don't know. I think I don't.
The
I
Catholic
don't.
Church.
I don't think I heard stories where people are. They might try to act white, but it's trying to
Right.
bleach their skin to make themselves white. They might make themselves try to make themselves lighter, but I don't know why people just can't be happy with the color of their skin. And I see this a lot on different cultures too.
Mm-hmm.
Black people bleaching their skin.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know. You're doing damage. They don't realize they're doing damage to their body.
Right.
I don't know. It's all self love. I
She said,
guess. I
invite to the nature hike.
mean, I don't know. It's not cool, but I don't know everybody's story, and if they feel that lighter is brighter and close to whiter, I mean, hey, go ahead, do you. I don't get it. I don't know what's. It could be self. It's got to be self-esteem, of course.
Right.
But look at a lot of the celebrities, how they changing their total appearance. They were just talking about Madonna. I was watching the awards. I didn't know that was Madonna. I said, "Who is this?" They said Madonna's coming on stage. Where's she at? They said that's Madonna. Madonna? Oh no, it's not. This is not Madonna. That was Madonna. She wasn't recognizable.
No,
They could not recognize her.
Yeah, she looks like she's made of a lot of material girls. A lot of different.
A lot of material.
Yeah.
I don't know. When do you stop? When do you stop? Like even Michael Jackson, when he did the album Billie Jean, he should have stopped. Like that was it. Oh, good. He looks great. Nice brown nose was good. He kept going and going. Now I know he had that skin disease. I understand that, but that ain't had nothing to do with your nose or your cheekbones or your chin getting you. He getting a cleft in his chin. I mean, it's I don't know.
It had nothing to do with his lips, though. It had nothing to do with him wearing lipstick.
He didn't have no lips.
Yeah,
that was just a layer. There was a layer of skin.
Yeah, but I mean, he was wearing lipstick sometimes, like red lipstick sometimes. I'm like,
that probably was tattooed on.
Probably.
Because it looked like it was a permanent thing, unless he just got up every morning and just lip gloss was popping. I don't know. It's just I don't know why people do the things they do. I'm sure there's something within us that we would want to change. It's always something, but not to these drastic measures. It's just, oh man.
Sure.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Everybody wants something they can change about themselves. Maybe they want to change it on their face, lose weight. Maybe they want to be smarter in a certain area. Yeah, but when it comes to the detriment to yourself, how's it really helping you out in the long run? I mean, at some point, some things you just gonna have to love on yourself or learn to love for yourself. Because in the end, when you turn, well, for some of them, when you turn 40s and 50s, which I hear, that's when most people start to appreciate themselves more and to understand it really ain't about everybody else. It's just about how you feel about yourself.
Right.
I wish most people could, get acclimated to that. In Madonna's case, her fame, and as a woman too, because it's a little bit harder for a woman than it is a man, because a lot of things that make you famous is your beauty. Yeah, of course,
Right.
she sings too and makes great music, used to anyway. But a big part of her appeal was her beauty. And I imagine
Right.
that's gotta really be hard for somebody who's like a supermodel. It's like, okay, what else do you do? Most people know you for your beauty. Nobody really cares about a man's beauty to an extent. That's kind of secondary. I'm pretty sure, women love Denzel, but it's the acting first that people go for, then the looks that people care for with Denzel.
Men don't have to wear makeup.
Yeah, you're right, exactly. Even though I think it's getting to a point where I think some are actually starting to do that.
Well, they don't have to,
No.
but I think people are just afraid to go through the changes. Like we all gonna get old. What you do not have a pond where you can jump in it and it'll knock 20 years off. It's just you gotta accept who you are. You're gonna get the wrinkles and the bags and this and that. You keep sticking these needles in your face and stuff like that. You're just making things worse. And then you start to look like a mannequin. Like you're not even looking real. Your face look tight. Like if somebody touch it, it's gonna explode. I just think that you just okay, I'm getting older, accept it, and that's that. That's how I feel. That's that. It just accept it. Now there might be certain things people going through. They might have skin problems. I can understand that now. If somebody having skin problems and you trying to get that taken care of, there might be some ointments that you want to use, and some of them ointments do make you lighter. They do. If you don't know what you're doing or you overdoing it, they will make your pigmentation lighter. That's a different story. Or maybe a burn victim or somebody. But when you constantly just changing and changing, something's wrong. It could be a mental thing. Something's not right. Every morning you wake up, nah, this nose, I gotta do this nose again. No. I needed this. Something's wrong. When
All right.
you see the lady who got the real huge breasts. I mean, first of all, she's definitely
Most
mental.
specific.
There's no question. Then
Who?
one of them popped. One of them popped.
Uh huh.
So
Yeah.
now she had to remove them. Yeah.
Black or white?
I don't know what she looked like a monster. She don't even look like she belong on this earth. She looks like she could be, I don't know, Dominican. She could be Colombian. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But yes, it's on Instagram. And look at a lot of entertainers now. That what's a black dog? What's her name?
Blac Chyna.
Blac Chyna. I'll give her say
Yeah.
black dog because that's what she looks. She like a little dog. She getting ready. She's getting ready to take the filters out her face.
Yeah, I
All,
heard.
all that money she done spent on her body, she removing it. I think even Cardi B
Yeah, I think she
removed
removed
some.
something.
What? So why y'all? What is going on here? What's happening? You see what happened to K Michelle?
Yeah, hers exploded. Hers exploded live on like she was
Women
dancing.
just walking. Women just walking down the street, just blowing up. Boom, 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 boom. Breasts on right side, butt cheeks on the other side. It's too much. Stop. Go back to the gym, work out, eat right. Come on now. If that person gonna love you, they're gonna love you for who you are and what you have already.
All right. Hey, Dr. Lamar, you there?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, Dr. Lamar?
Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't even realize it was this late.
Good. Yeah. To answer that question, yeah. What K Michelle? Yeah, she was on the Instagram live. She was just dancing, and everyone noticed on camera when she was dancing that her butt was very lopsided on one side, and it just exploded. And then she noticed late, and then she tried to slowly walk off of the camera after it had already been done. So yeah,
Wait a minute. When was this? What was this?
this was a few years ago. This is about the time where she had those removed, and she was like, "Oh,
Oh yeah. Okay.
on
Yes.
Instagram or something," and she was dancing. It was okay. Then one
Yes.
just popped, and then one was just like dragging, and everybody on Instagram could see it, and they were commenting. I think she looked on the comments like, "Oh," and then she tried to shyly go off the camera after it happened.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah. That, and she had a show too. I don't know what happened to it. Why they took it off the air.
I know she had two. One, she had reality show her life, and then she had one
Yeah.
documenting about the surgery she had. Okay, so all right, we're gonna get into the first subject today. I thought I had hold on, let me find that right quick before let me download that right quick and put that up here so we got an idea of what we're talking about. Okay, so there's a little bit of fuss been made. There was I think a gala awards where Sierra and Russell Wilson, quarterback of the Denver Broncos, used to be the Seattle Seahawks, and Sierra came dressed in some garb that kind of turned some eyes, and I think it turned people's eyes mostly because of the kind of couple they profess to be versus just her dressing that way. And she's also been coming out with some kind of choice lyrics that don't give off the image that she has right now as a married woman. More so of she made a song about single, independent ladies. Let's see if I can find that right quick. And so people are kind of coming at her lately and saying, why are you trying to put out an image that you don't live in real life? Put Priestley back in. So yeah, people are kind of come at Sierra saying, why are you coming out with these kind of lyrics that don't reflect the kind of life you live or aspire to get to as a married woman? Let's see. She came out with a song. Let's see. What is it called? For the Girls. That's what it's called. And the lyrics go like this. Let's see. This is for the girls that get money. No problem. And this is for the girls that don't need no man. Yet you're married and you made a song praying about getting Russell Wilson. Okay. This is for the girl that's in love with their self. No problem. This is for all the girls that did it by themselves. I don't know about the English. This is for the girls that independent, independent. This is for all the girls that be living stress free. This is for all the girls on a mission like me. What mission? You chose to go and be married. You made a song praying, not just saying, you pray, you want to manifest a man like this. So what, I don't understand, what kind of image are you trying to push? And let me show the dress in question people were talking about. We're talking about this dress here. Now, I don't think nobody would have had a problem with this for the most part if she was still married to Future and she came dressed like this. I would have, being if I was a husband, I wouldn't want my wife, this nude, this sheer of an outfit in public like this. I mean, shit, that's damn near naked. She got them little pasties on. That's the only thing kind of blocking what, her nipples from being shown. But, and I know people were like, well, Russell was cool with it. I don't know if Russell was cool with it or he just didn't want to be, have people come down on him, because if he would have said something like, no, I didn't want my wife in this on the red carpet or in any interview, people would say, well, he's controlling. He's trying to be manipulative. He's not supporting his wife and what she wants to do. people would have came down on him. Same way, it was another couple. They was like, oh, same way, and it has the same parallels of Megan Good and her ex-husband. When she started, and kind of the same thing with them, when Ciara first got with Russell Wilson, she dressed a certain way. Not that she dressed like a pilgrim or something, but she didn't dress like this. And it wasn't until she was getting ready to come out with another album that she felt like she had to give her quote unquote fans what they wanted or what she thinks they want. And then she started dressing like this again. So who you living for is my thing. Are you living for the fans or are you living for your husband? I know you got to sell records. I know people say sex sells, but where does integrity come into place? Is the money or the fans more important than your integrity or your husband? And to go back to what I was saying with Megan Good, Megan Good started off the same way with her husband, her ex-husband. She dressed conservatively. I'm trying to say the word right. She dressed a certain way. Her husband was a well-renowned preacher. And she dressed a certain way. And it wasn't until, and she kind of fell off from her career. And it wasn't until she started going back to her career, she started dressing a certain way again. And she started accepting certain roles that he didn't necessarily approve of, but he still tried to support her because he didn't want to get the backlash that would have came with, well, you're not supporting your wife. And eventually they got divorced. Kind of the same parallel with Ayesha Curry and Stephen Curry. At the beginning, they're known for their Christian beliefs. Even she said she didn't want to dress a certain way because she felt like the dress that certain way is just for her husband. And she would never dress like Instagram models and stuff like that she proclaimed to be. And then all of a sudden she came out and said she wanted the attention like her husband gets from groupies and stuff. She wanted that same kind of attention from men. And then she changed the way she looked. And Steph Curry couldn't say nothing back to that because he was going to look like he wasn't supporting his wife. Now, they're still, from what I understand, happily married. But there's parallels between these three stories. And I'm wondering how Ciara and Russell Wilson are going to end up in the future, and even Ayesha Curry and Steph Curry. And she also, Ayesha Curry has also had surgery done to herself too, to seem like she wants to get that kind of attention that her husband can't seem to give to her because he seems to seek the attention of other people. But yeah, I just kind of want to hear what you guys' opinion on this situation. Do you think there's too much fuss being made about that? And show it again, the outfit she has on here, where she seems to be dressing like she is a single woman. Or do you think there's something to it that you should dress a certain way when you're married, when you're with somebody? Because you also don't want your man dressing a certain way. Shit, that's when women don't want you wearing jogging pants and showing that print off. So there's boundaries to everything. You don't want your husband going off, shirtless all the time, and you don't want your girl going off dressing a certain way. So what do you guys think about it? And I'll give you a time.
Yes, thank you.
Hold on for a minute. Let's see. Dr. Lamar, I'll let you speak on it first. We got a couple minutes to speak on at first, your initial statement, and then we'll go to Preez and then to me last. All right. So I'll let you go first.
Are you ready? Go.
You know what? I kind of think it. Personally, I wouldn't have, but you know what? I can't say. Maybe if I had the body, I don't know. But don't forget, when was it? The Met Gala. Yeah. A couple years ago when Beyonce had she's the one who kind of started that whole see-through mesh look. And
wasn't it J-Lo?
He had to the left, and she had different songs, and no one really said anything about that. I think that Ciara, for whatever reason, I think that they have such a tight relationship. I could be wrong, that I'm sure when those stylists came in, they bought a whole rack of dresses, and they probably looked at them together, and he probably said, they probably went through them. They probably went through them. So he probably didn't have a problem with it.
What up, Lord Trent?
So
peace, gods.
Hold on. I mean, I actually I like them both as such a couple, and I think they're just both great people. So we're even with this. I mean, she showed a little much. That to me seemed like a look that she had with Future, but I mean, they always look good together to me. So, to each their own. Weird, because if I could, I probably would too.
Word.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Okay. All right, Preezy.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go. Oh, sorry. It was inappropriate. Does she have a bad body? Absolutely. Do I? I'm about to get like that next year, boo. But I'm not wearing anything like that. I think it was inappropriate. Certain places and certain gatherings are for certain outfits or whatever. She was naked. She was literally naked. If you really think about it, she was. I don't know why people do the things that they do. Is it for attention or trying to still be in the spotlight? Sexy. People that have the word, they use the word sexy in so many wrong ways. You could wear a pair of jeans and a nice blouse and have some heels on and look sexy. And I just don't, I thought it was very inappropriate, but I love them as a couple. I think they're beautiful together. But that was a bit much. I remember when J-Lo came out with her dress and it was revealing, but it wasn't like that.
Yeah, it wasn't like
It
that.
wasn't like that. That was nothing but a fishnet.
Right.
That was nothing. That was nothing. So, you see, I like Sierra as an artist. I think she's a beautiful woman and she got it going on, but you don't have to dress like that, whether you have the body or not. You don't have to dress like that. Okay, so what if Lizzo came out like that? What would be the difference? Because Lizzo's bigger, because she's heavy. What would be the difference? So Lizzo's not sexy, and believe it or not, Lizzo is sexy in her own way. She is sexy. People just they make they just change beauty. They just make beauty their own way, and that's not fair. So if Lizzo came out of it, she would be all on Instagram. They'd be bashing her. But now that Sierra's looking like that, oh, it's okay. No, she should not. That to me, it was inappropriate. Come on. It's places for everything. It's you dress like that when maybe you're on a beach somewhere or somewhere in a freaky island. I don't know. They still got those. That's some. They still got those islands, those freaky islands that you could go to. Well, then they should have. Well, she should have went there.
Okay.
I know. Yes. Okay. Lizzo does all the time, but they bash her.
Yeah. Right.
They bash Lizzo though.
I'm glad you mentioned that too, because the thing I always hear people like, well, how come they don't say nothing about skinny women that dress like that? Well, they are.
Thank you.
Here we are. We are. So I want to hear that before. All right. Let's see. LT.
Yeah.
Let you go next on the matter. Do you know what we're talking about all the way?
It seems like we're Whoopi Goldberg naked at the BET
Whoopi
Awards.
Goldberg.
Oh, no, we want to see
no,
that. No. She fully naked, legs knocked up in the
you
air.
told Harpo.
We want to see
that.
But
Harpo to come lay that. But y'all talking about Sierra little body?
Yeah.
Little body, yada 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 yada.
Yada yada yada.
Mainly, do you think it's appropriate for her as a married woman, and especially in this relationship she's in, the Russell Wilson Christian relationship, whatever you want to call it? Is it appropriate for her to still dress this way, in this manner? Is this honoring her husband? Is it appropriate? What do you have to say on that?
Ready? Go.
Honestly, I can't really say too much. It depends on their relationship. She showed up with him. It'd be a whole nother thing if she showed up at this event by her damn self on her damie. So I can't speak on what another man is accepting in their household. Not only is she a what else, Spark? But not only is she a wife, she's also a mother. So at what point do we start saying, hey, can you a kid came out of there? You want to cover it up a little bit? But as a man, I don't really have a station. I don't really have a stake in the fight. I don't really get to like. Am I going to be upset that a woman is not even half naked, all the way naked? My lower base chakras don't get upset about that. But is there a time and place for the nakedness? Yes, there is. Especially if you want to move through the industry, move throughout life as seen as a respectable person. You know, there's things that you do. Like it's not a matter of telling a woman what she can and can't do with her body, telling her how she can and can't dress. She is a grown woman, but she is a married woman. She is a mother. So these are things that when you go out, you're not just representing you, you're representing you and your husband. You're representing you, your husband, and your children. And you don't need, if it's okay with you that the world knows what your naked body looks like, that's a whole different type of life that I'm not living. I can't, is it appropriate or inappropriate? The entertainment industry doesn't give a fuck about appropriateness. Like Prizzy said years ago, J-Lo was infamous for her green dress with the little titties out. Little Kim had a titty out, and Whitney Houston jiggled it and shit. We've been like seeing titties out. Like on some real shit. If it was appropriate, the Statue of Liberty would be naked.
Oh, Lord.
We love titties. It's America. And shit, like we do the same thing to Lizzo. Yeah, we tell Lizzo to put it away. Shit, I like my girls BBW.
But add an extra beat to that one. But yeah, that's
big, black, beautiful.
Voice, big, black.
That's 3B.
There's your X's up there.
Yes.
Extravagant. Exuberant.
All right. Sparky, I don't know if you,
Sparky T is in the house. Watch your mouth.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
All right. You all want to go next on this? I don't know if you...
just tell me what the topic is. I just heard part of what Lord Trent was saying.
Okay, so we're talking about, let me pop it up right quick. We're talking about the night Ciara wore this, and then there was a little bit of backlash about her being damn near naked in this picture. And I think mostly it's not because she was naked, part of it, but it's because of the type of relationship she's in, which is mostly as a Christian relationship with Russell Wilson. Making good, and I think his name Devon Franklin. I think that was her ex-husband. They kind of had the same type things going on with him. When she first got together with him, she kind of dressed a little bit more conservative, still sexy, but conservative. And then when it got to her getting back to a career, she started dressing a little bit more provocative, and she started taking scenes and roles that weren't becoming, I guess, of a Christian quote unquote relationship. And I think that's why more so. And I think if Ciara was with Future, this wouldn't have been such a big deal, but it's because who she's with and what they proclaim to practice or whatever, people have given Ciara a backlash. So the question mainly is, do you think this was a correct choice of garb, an outfit for the type of relationship they're in, to put out there on the red carpet, on the Met Gala? I think they were at some event, the gala event, I think. Do you think this was an appropriate outfit to wear with her husband? I would say husband, period. I wouldn't want my wife wearing this out in public. This is damn near, this is lingerie. To me, that's just my opinion. But what's your opinion on it?
Okay.
Ready? Go.
I don't think it was appropriate. I'm a woman. Put some damn clothes on. Like, that'd be my thing with everybody. Like, I get the whole, people feeling like they empowered and they don't have to, and all of that stuff. Like, I get it. But you are somebody's wife. You are somebody's mom. Now the one thing I will say is, if you are going to wear it, at least you wore it with your husband. At least you were with your husband when you wore it. But that's about the only thing that I see that's right. Put some clothes on. I mean, even though it's the Met Gala or wherever, like it's okay to leave something to the imagination. But the other thing with that though is, has everybody already seen her body? You know, they seem like they walk around underdressed or about naked so much that it's like everybody's already seen all of it anyway. So you kind of just putting it back out there. But I feel like it's like lingerie too. She don't have no clothes on. Put some damn clothes on. Like that's something you would come out the bathroom for your husband in. You on the red carpet in it. Like, and they portray themselves as being so wholesome. You know, she seems like she's going for a different reputation than she was when she was with Future. But it's almost like she reverted back to a Future outfit. And she's not carrying herself that way. You know, you were at one time, you are not now. Leave it back there where it was at. Why go back and pick it up? I mean, that's my only thing. I would say to anybody, though, put some clothes on. Like, it's okay to leave something to the imagination. It's okay. You don't got to leave it all out on the carpet. You just don't. So that's what I think.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Oops. Okay, let me go with that. So,
are you ready? Go.
Yeah. Phylicia Rashad, I know people love Phylicia Rashad from the 80s and up to this point. Phylicia Rashad is one of the most sexiest women to ever grace the cinema or TV. And she was as dressed up as she could be. She didn't show off a lot of skin ever. She might have showed off some shoulders, maybe some cleavage at some point, but she never would have to go to extent that Ciara would go or any of these other artists. My thing is who are you dressing for? If you're dressing for your fans versus your husband, then you've already lost because now you're married to the fans. You're not married to the husband. Your fans are controlling what you do. Your fans are controlling how big your integrity is. And I think that's a huge thing. I would think Russell Wilson, I don't know if he has it in his nature to be an alpha or whatever and say, hey, Ciara, take that shit off and put on some jogging pants, a full 1980s track Puma outfit. I don't think that's in his nature. Not that I would want Ciara to wear that whole thing because that would look ridiculous at a Met Gala, but whatever event she was. But yeah, if you portray yourself to look a certain way, a certain image, then that's what people are going to think of you. And I hate that people, or women will say they don't want to be objectified as sex objects, but then you put yourself out there as a sex object. That's how people are going to view you, whether it's fair or not. Maybe you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but people do it all the time. People are going to judge you based off what they see first, because we can't get up close and personal and get to learn what your personality is. We only can go off what we see on TV. And what you put on TV makes it look like that dress is entertainment for everybody, not just for your husband. All right. Anybody want to go up? Else want to go on and talk on this?
I just think he probably. Oh, sorry, Lord Trent. You want to go?
No, go ahead.
I just think, maybe it makes him look good, but does it really?
No.
I don't. That she's your wife, regardless. You guys have children. And this may come back later on, and the kids see it. Mom, what you had on? We gotta be. Not only have respect for ourselves, but for our children as well. And I don't know what she was thinking. Maybe she felt like she falling off. She got to get back on, and this is the way to do it. But I don't know. I don't think that he should have. I mean, she's a grown woman, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure she asked, "Dear, how you like this? What do you think about this?" I'm sure she did. So,
I think it's exactly what you just said. I think she, there's been a soft battle between her and Beyonce, and I say soft, nowhere on the level I would say of Beyonce or Rihanna. She had a high point, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. She's kind of fallen off since then, and I think she thinks this is the way to get back in because she's following the formula, quite frankly, that Beyonce did probably 14, 15 years ago, talking about a single lady song, you know. And Beyonce, I think she was married when she came out with that single lady song, but she was newly married anyway. And that was success for her. And then Sierra comes out with a single lady, independent woman song. And it's like, what image are you trying to portray?
Publicity stunt.
Like you're saying you don't need a man, you're not searching for a man, you're happy without a man, but you're married to a man, and you made a song saying you prayed for a man. Not just you asking for a man or searching.
But if you're trying to get back into this new climate for female music, the kind of female music they're pumping out for specifically young black women, you have to, yeah, it's kind of fuck nigga free. You know what I'm saying? Like you were without the man.
Yeah, but I mean, the people who are the most famous are the ones I feel like go against the grain and do their own thing. If Lauryn Hill's Miseducation Lauryn Hill came out today, it'd be just as popular, I think, today as it was back then because everybody's making these, you know, fuck nigga free songs, whatever you want to call them, or don't need a man songs, and no one's making.
But that's the thing. Would it be just as popular today with the oversaturation of pretty much of the pussy rap that we have? Because Lauryn Hill only has one album. She literally got driven crazy by the industry and the way that they were trying to meddle with the production of her second album after that, because that was an album that kind of wasn't supposed to exist. Like they don't want that album to exist. There's a reason there's not many more Lauryn Hills after Lauryn Hill. That kind of black consciousness for black female hip hop listeners could have revolutionized the whole generation.
I think it's because there ain't that many people that was as talented as Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill was
You're right. Instead, they pushed Little Kim and Foxy Brown.
Yeah. But it's also on point with us where I had a conversation with somebody else the other day and say it's the record labels that are pushing this. I get that. But they can't push anything that we don't buy.
We're gonna buy it. That's the problem. We don't stop buying it.
But they're going to buy a person like Lauryn Hill if that caliber of music is pushed out there. It's going to sell if that caliber of an artist is out there. The problem is
like Rhapsody is out there, No Name is out there. A lot of dope. Flo Milli. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dope female artists are out there, but you don't hear them as much. Like I was literally watching Bel Air today, and today was like the third or fourth time they referenced Saweetie. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if
wasn't it?
Yeah, like I can't name a Saweetie song. I don't get why she's so popular. She's very pretty. She's very lovely. She seems like honestly, a lot of these artists, not even just the female ones, a lot of these artists just seem like social media influencers with the soundtrack. Like honestly, music is made for them to just be attractive while the music plays in the background of their video. That's literally it. And yeah, they're literally just corporate shills to sell whatever. The fact that they are literally using Cardi B and Offset to sell our children McDonald's. They're using rappers to sell us Mickey D's.
Forget McDonald's. I'm talking about politics. They used him for politics.
Oh yeah, they're using currently
for our political information.
And it's easier to sell someone on politics when you're dumbing them down due to either education or their diet. So they're attacking us on all fronts with our own images, with people that we recognize. You know what I'm saying? Niggas could love to complain about McDonald's, but we still eat McDonald's. They still $1 trillion served. Motherfuckers still love a dollar menu McChicken. So yeah, you're right. It's a lot about, you know, we can talk shit about the music production companies forcing artists to pretty much sell us sex, because that's what Sierra was doing. She was sexy back in the day. We've seen her goodies before a little bit. And I remember back when motherfuckers was saying that she was an hermaphrodite. I remember back.
I remember that.
Remember that? Remember back? Yeah. I remember I was in the 7th grade. People used to say, "Oh, you know, Sierra got both a vagina and a penis." Like we used to hate on this woman a little bit just because now. But yeah, this is an industry where they sell us sex. They sell our children sex. And if a woman wants to get back into this industry, you're going to have to sell yourself. And the way that women sell themselves is their bodies. Like Beyonce gave birth to twins and she literally had to snap right back and get back into the fucking studio taking some pictures for these Ivy Park photos and shit.
Let's see, back to what she was saying with the Goody song. The Goody song was not even about her having sex. It was her abstaining from sex.
It was her abstaining from sex. You're right. She
Yeah.
did make female empowerment music. And
That's
guess
all right.
what?
It can
We
be
do
done.
not make female empowerment music anymore. Like they've literally been able to, along with what Prezia said, been able to mix the message of empowerment. Now women are being told that empowerment is be as naked as you want, like fuck for money. If you are a stripper, that's literally, bitch, you want to be a stripper. That's going to lead to your career on Love and Hip Hop. That Love and Hip Hop career is going to lead to you getting a record deal. That record deal, you're going to be able to make all the ass shaking stripper club music you want. Then you're going to be the queen of Love and Hip Hop. You see Cardi B don't come back no more.
Well, here's the thing with
Nor does Kate Michelle.
I would say empowerment is being able to do what you want to do without the influence of millions of other people who don't care about you. And empowerment is saying, I'm going to make this sexy song or wear this kind of, well, not sexy song, well, sexy song too, and wear this dress because my fans want me to wear this. That's not empowerment. That's being totally dependent on what other people feel about you.
Also, yeah, it's just making yourself relevant. You know what I'm saying? It's literally just an attention grab. Look at what I'm wearing. Now people are going to get on Twitter, get on Facebook, and do what we always do. Type that person's name, retweet, reshare the photo, pass it around, discuss it on our pods. And that artist, regardless if it's good or bad, it's publicity. And that is their oldest rule over there in Hollywood. There's no such thing as bad publicity. As long as people are talking about you, the algorithm is picking that up as Ciara is relevant right now.
True.
And yeah, and in order to do, they make you demean
Sex
a little
sells.
bit.
Yep, sex sells.
Yeah. So soul sell too. And that's what they
Oh
sell.
yeah,
A lot of these people sell.
dignity and pride. Dignity and pride.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Just to get those likes.
just to
Okay.
keep living that standard of life they're used to.
And then that comes back to money.
Money, fame, you know, power,
That's
control,
why I think it's
success.
kind of crazy that she wore this because she, you know, she was like kind of making it seem like you could take the high road and still kind of be in the industry. Like when she got with Russell Wilson, it kind of seemed like she was on the, you know, you don't have to stoop. You could take the high road and
Right.
still, you know, live this life. Then you turn around and put the dress on. It's like it just made what you say go out the window, so to speak. It's almost it's like
It's
you
like
being a hypocrite.
it's like when Frank Lucas put on that fur coat and sat front row at the fucking
Yep.
boxing.
Yep.
No, I
And
shouldn't
he
have
would have
did
never
that.
wore that coat.
No, it's gonna come right back.
And that's when his downfall began.
Falling.
Okay, let's see. All right. We'll move on from that one. I see. Sparky, I think you posted this story. Did you post a story about the lady that was faking her race?
Lady.
Let's see, what's her name? Rachel. Damn, Raquel. Raquel Saraswati. Did you post that story? Oh, you're on mute.
You on mute, Spark.
Sorry. Yeah, the lady that posted that was painting, like she tried to make her, she almost looked Hispanic. She was like painting her face and she was saying she's a Muslim, but she was saying like she was a foreigner, but she white as can be. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
She one of them albinos.
no. Well,
she's a
in
white
way.
woman.
I'm about to say in a way.
She
You know,
a reverse.
Yeah.
A reverse albino? Yeah, so yeah.
the original albinos.
So Raquel Evita Saraswati was a name well known to well-meaning
That's a
people in
badass name.
Philadelphia. She was a bronze-hued Jersey-born spokesperson for Muslim and LGBTQ causes and fashionable hijabs, and an advisor and confidant to local nonprofit, the National Organization for Women's Philadelphia chapter, named her a Woman of the Year. She served on the Mayor's Commission on LGBT Affairs. And until last week, she was the Chief Equity and Inclusion Officer for the American Friends Service Committee, a Quaker-founded service organization that supports social justice causes all over the country and the world. Let's see. So allegations in an open letter circulated on February 10th by a group of individuals. Let's see, meticulously footnoted letter accused her of cultural vulturism. It's kind of different.
We could
The
see
legend had Saraswati, formerly known as Raquel or Raquel Sidel, misrepresent herself as having Arab, Latinx, and South Asian heritage. Dang, she robbed 3 people.
Took it there.
I'm saying she went for broke. No, can't go for broke. She went for all the ancient world. Goddamn.
All right. So Saraswati had also served as a commentator about Muslim extremism for conservative news outlets, including Fox News and Newsmax. She spoke about the difficulties Muslim women face in the documentary. Damn, she was on the documentary by media company Clarion Project, listed until 2020 as an anti-Muslim group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. Let's see. Raquel Saraswati, who is facing public allegation that she misrepresented her background and past allegations, has informed us of her intention to separate from the organization, Mullet wrote. Saraswati appears to have deleted or locked most social media and did not respond to a request for comment. Let's see. I'm trying to skip ahead to more juicier facts. Let's see.
Got another Rachel Dollar. So Rachel.
Basically, damn it, I lost the story. Well, I'll get back to it. But her parents, kind of like Rachel Dolezal, eventually came out and said, we don't know what she's talking about. She's been as white as the driven snow. Their words, since she was born. So we don't know where this all of a sudden wanting to switch races came from. I see. I got a picture of her. So if people don't know what she looks like, this is her now. This is, let's see, another picture of her. I think of maybe a few years before.
Is she the slightly Asian looking chick, or is she the?
Oh no, she's the one on the right.
Avril Lavigne.
Yeah,
Or
this
Pink.
is the first pic I put up there. It's her, supposed to be her now. This is her when she was very young.
Wow, she looks like Dwight Schrute from The Office. Boom, roasted.
Let's see. I'm trying to get to what they were saying with her parents. Let's see. Oh, her mom, Carol Peroni, I think I'm saying it right. And she has denied her claims about her heritage, saying, as I said, saying the family is as white as driven snow. I call her Raquel, rather. No, actually it is Rachel. It was supposed to be Raquel now, but it's supposed to be Rachel, but they called her Raquel. She changed it from a C to a Q. I don't know why she's doing what she's doing. Peroni told The Intercept, I'm as white as the driven snow, and so is she. They love that word. I'm German and British, and her father was Calabrese Italian. She's chosen to live a lie, and I find that very, very sad, the mom said. Saraswati is the Chief Equity, Inclusion, and Culture Officer of the Philadelphia-based American Friends Service Committee. Let's see, a progressive Quaker group that fights violence, inequality, and oppression. And so, with that being said, with the story, the main topic here, as you've seen, people being able to be trans male, trans female, trans age, and they've all seemed to pretty much be accepted in the popular circles, popular cultures. Not a whole lot of pushback, except trans race. That has this for some reason has not seemed to be accepted. Not sure why, but no, I am sure why. I want to hear you guys' opinions on this. Is transracial a thing? Can it be a thing? Will it be a thing? Why is it not accepted yet? I want to hear you guys. Go ahead.
What, like, so she's Italian.
That's what it says.
Right. So,
Italian and German, I think she said.
Yeah, my mom is British and German and Italian.
Like, I guess I'm not fully informed on how a person can identify as a whole different race that they're not. It's
just feel.
What race is she trying to be?
Black.
No, she's trying to be Latinx,
Oh, yeah.
Arab, and Hispanic.
All of that? Yeah.
Oh no.
So you want to be all types of person of color.
Arab, and Asian. Latinx, Asian, and Arab. Not necessarily that order.
That's what's weird about it. You want to be every other kind of person of color except for a black person. So I guess I find it prejudice on just those terms alone. And I have to ask, why exactly do you want to be a part? Why do you want to identify? Peace, God. Why do you want to identify as these as another race?
And seeking knowledge and stuff.
What are the qualifying
Oh, yeah, I
factors?
Okay. So let's put a pause on it. What's going on, Seeking Knowledge? So I don't know if were you able to hear the topic we were just talking about?
Oh no, sir. I just tapped in.
Okay. So the topic we're talking about is a lady named Raquel Evita Saraswati, and that's a lot to speak on. This lady is kind of like Rachel Dolezal, where she was pretending to be Latin, South Asian, and Arab descent, and then she got outed as being white. This is her here. She was outed as being white like a week or so ago. And so our question, because we've heard of trans men, trans female, trans age, just trans everything. Is there such thing as trans race? And I want to hear, if you don't believe in it, fine. If you do believe it, fine too. Tell us what your opinion is on it. So we're gonna go around, the circle, whatever. And everybody's gonna get a couple minutes to give their initial thought on it, and then it's a free for all. The question is, do you believe in it? And if you believe in it, tell us why. If you don't believe in it, tell us why. Can somebody be transracial? Can anybody just walk up and say, I feel black today, therefore I am? I think it, therefore I am. So, Dr. Lamar, you there? Dr. Lamar done went to sleep. Dr. Lamar, where you at?
Oh, Lord, it's Dr. Lamar. I think she'd be back.
Okay. All right. Well, LT, I'll let you go first on that. So, do you believe that can be a such thing as trans race? Somebody can just be black one day, Hispanic one day if they want to be. Tell us why. If you don't believe that, then tell us why. Got 2 minutes on this.
Are you ready? Go!
Fuck no. I don't believe anyone can be transracial. I can't just one day wake up and move throughout this world as a white man. So I don't get why people can just decide to pick and choose. Because what are the actual what legitimacy do you go through to get yourself declared Hispanic or Arab or Southwest? Like, the fact that she picked a fucking region of Asia is fucking weird, and we should look into that. I don't want to minimize the trans community because I already attack enough communities as we're on here speaking.
Cancel.
But this type of trans, I can't allow to stand, because there is a direct link between the coming together of all those other races that she decided to elect to be outside of being black. Like, you want to be Hispanic, you want to be Asian, you want to be Middle Eastern, regardless if that's fucking Persian, Indian, Iraqi, or whatever the fuck, everything but black. So I'm just gonna get to the bare brass of it. It's just white women wanting to be able to victim signal, virtue signal, victim signal, whichever one. They play victim a lot better than anything else. Just again, stealing the culture, jacking the whole flow, and adding no flavor of their own. Literally just throwing in raisins, whole bunch of raisins. I truly don't get what qualifies a person to change their race, and only white people are allowed to do this. No black person has ever been able to say. We literally get laughed at when we declare ourselves white. A character like Uncle Ruckus is a fucking idiom. He's a paradox walking, because he's a black man that thinks that he is white. It's yeah, these kind of people are sick on a different level. I guess I don't know.
All right. Preezy, you there?
I'm here.
Okay. What do you think about it? Yeah, your opinion. Do you think the transracial thing should be a thing that's possible? Agree with it? Give your opinion on that. If you don't agree with it, tell us why you don't agree that trans race should be a thing or could be a thing one day.
Are you ready? Go!
I think the world is confused. You know, everybody got all these different things that's going on, and you want to be another race or whatever. It's just ridiculous. Stick to your own race. If you want to hang out with that culture, or those individuals, by means, go ahead. You want to go to their gatherings and eat their food and stuff, but to turn around and say, "Hey, this is who I am," blah blah, you're fake. You're not real. But it has a lot to do with mental health. I just think that mental health comes in so many different categories. People just, oh, hey, like Lord Trent said, hey, today I want to be black. Oh, they mess with the black people. I'm going to go back and be white. Oh, the white people are corny, so I'm going to be Asian. It's just ridiculous that the rights that people have, they just abuse it and they're just making up things. The same thing with the young lady who was going around saying that she was African American when she was Caucasian. So it's, to me, it's a mental situation going on, and I don't know. I don't agree to that. You can love the culture, but don't lie that you are that culture or that race. You can enjoy it and do whatever you want. But to lie and say, hey, I'm changing my whole looks and this, it's mental. It's mental. That's it for me.
Okay.
Are you
All right. Sparky T, what do you got to say about it?
Are you ready? Go!
I just think it's downright weird. That's why I'm just sitting here kind of pondering a little bit. It's crazy to me. Like Preezy said, I can understand the appreciation for another race or wanting to, help or whatever. But to lie and say you're that race, I don't agree with that. She can never know what it feels like to be, I was about to say a black woman, but she ain't trying to be a black woman. So she would never know what it's like to be those people of the other races. She's lived her whole life with white privilege, and now that you're grown and you've, gone through life with that, you want to try to act like you've gone through the oppressions of these other people, and you haven't. And I think that is wrong. Now I wonder if she did that so that she could become the inclusion officer or whatever her job title is. Does she feel like she needed to do that so that she would, come across as a more diverse individual? She could get the job, whatever. But either way, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong.
Good. Okay. All right. Seeking Knowledge. All right. From Seeking Knowledge podcast, man, what do you have to say on it? Do you agree there should be or will be a thing where trans race will be accepted? Tell us why. If you don't agree with it, tell us why.
Are you ready? Go!
All right.
I don't agree with that. Like, I'm against it. Like, why I say that? Because I feel like just because you hang out with another race and you start dressing like them or picking up on their culture, that make you like them. Like, it's a mental thing. Like, I didn't see Caucasian people out here just because they hung around black people or and dated a black person. They think they hip. They start acting like them. Like, you can't do that. Stay in your lane. I'm against it. I don't. That's, excuse me, but that's fucked up. And I'm not trying to excuse me, and I didn't see black people, or whatever y'all want to say, hang around white people and start acting like, bro, stay in your lane. Sis, stay in your lane. I'm against it, bro. I think it's a mental thing. I think they are confused, and that's all I gotta say, bro. But I'm against it.
Okay. Let's see. Paige and Dr. Lamar, you there? She's still gone. She on the date. Maybe she had karate class. I don't know. Well,
Yeah, she is occupado.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go then.
Are you ready? Go!
I don't agree with it wholeheartedly, but I do think eventually it will become a thing. It's going to be accepted. For one, Black people, we're very accepting of other cultures. Even when they come in and steal from our culture, we accept them. Call them one of us. I mean, you've seen plenty of white rappers come in, take the culture, use it as theirs. And we got this phrase where if they are good to us, it's some aspect of life, welcome to the barbecue. That's what we say, And me and Precy were kind of talking about that earlier. It's like, what was the reverse of that? Like, what do white people say when they say, what is their version of welcome to their barbecue? I don't know what that is, but I think it's going to be accepted eventually, because if we're saying they can't know what it is to be Black, therefore they can't be Black, what about all the other people who are trans? They can't know how it feels to be any of those things. There's trans female, male, there's trans age, and it's based off mostly of how you feel on the inside. And now you're going to have somebody say, well, I feel Black, whatever that means. I don't know what that means. But it's just as easy as that. That's how people get accepted, and that term can be a permanent thing. Right now, the only reason why I don't think that's accepted in the mainstream is because people don't see the value in being Black. That's why I think that's not a thing yet. Maybe eventually in the future, that will be a thing. Black people will accept that before the mainstream will, trans race. But yeah, I don't agree with it. I don't understand why that's not accepted and the other things are accepted, but that's just me. Anybody else speak on it? If anybody else got anything to say on it, go ahead.
This is not out of this is not unregular out of the white people playbook. It's funny that they're doing this for like shits and giggles now when they're bored. They want to be different races, but they've literally just, Kevin Hart damn near got canceled he was about to perform in Egypt, and they got mad at him because in his excitement, he said, I'm excited to go perform for, people of Egypt, where, original Black people came from. And according to the Egyptian government, the people were upset. The people were upset because Kevin Hart was being racist. They said to call Egyptian people Black or Black Africans was disrespectful and racist. So I think it's weird that I was watching, oh my God. There's this doctor, actually an Egyptian doctor. He came over from Egypt to America in the 70s, and he was told that he had to register as a white person. Like when he fills out things, when he puts down when he fills out his application, he has to check the box white, Caucasian. And he would say, but I'm from Egypt, I'm from Africa, I'm Black, I'm a Black African. Like I look more like a Black African. No, Egypt in this country is considered white. So there's always been a fixation on certain parts of other cultures that white people love to steal. This is nothing new for them. This is directly, they will literally section off parts of a continent just to give themselves credit and put themselves there and hate along with what Precy was saying. They love the culture, they just hate the people. They want to be us. They're literally rewriting history and have rewritten created classification so that they could take what they want from certain cultures, whitewash it, that's literally the term, claim it for themselves so that they can be it. And as you see, they quickly get rid of those people. I mean, we're only 13% of the population, and look what usually happens to our population.
Well, it seems in this case, they're not even just stealing the culture. They're actually trying to be Black or Hispanic or, in her case, a whole bunch of other different ethnicities. So they actually look like they're trying to walk the walk.
Every part of history to be them. They literally want to see. representation matters. They want to see themselves represented all throughout motherfucking history. Every pyramid, that was us. Did you like? They really want to rewrite it to say that everyone comes from a white person. Like I always thought it was so weird that they created the stigma that all black people look alike. But it's like, if that's the case, if all black people looked alike, none of y'all would exist. Like, we literally come in every different shape or shape, size, color, hue, and shit. Like, if we weren't the original people, other people wouldn't be able to genetically mutate from our melanated genes. It's a little story called the Sun People and the Ice People. I just learned people that do well in the sun and people that were frozen in the fucking ice in the Caucasus Mountain caves. They got cold hearts and no compassion, and they steal. They steal everything from those beautiful, beautiful melanated sun people.
Well, let's play devil's advocate right quick then. If we're saying, white people are looking at us or looking at black people as less than and don't appeal to them, don't live on their type of level, and you got this type of person and Rachel Dolezal that wants to commit to being black, even though, again, you can't go through experience because you can just wash off whatever she had on. But if they're trying to commit and they love everything that is black and they're fighting, Rachel Dolezal was part of the NAACP, and she did a lot of things with the NAACP that helped black people. Would you like, or would you rather have that kind of person in your corner versus the alternative white person?
Playing that last part back.
I'm not saying I agree with it.
I didn't catch the last part of what you said.
I was saying, playing devil's advocate, would you rather a person that actually commits to being quote unquote black, dressing up as black, wearing basically blackface, but not doing, I don't know, she may have done it in racial stereotypical form, but Rachel Dolezal, the example we're going to use, where she worked with the NAACP. She was raising a black kid because she was married to a black guy, had a black kid with him. And she's teaching him his African roots and all this type of stuff. Would you rather have that kind of white person in your corner versus the alternative white person that doesn't see the value in being black, doesn't care about
they're not a white person anymore because they've elected to be black now. And that sounds nice on paper. It's like, oh, bless her heart. Like, bless her heart, she just wanted to be black so bad so that she could help and relate. But it's like, you're not a white person anymore if you decide to do that, even though you don't get to abandon your whiteness either to run away from your guilt. Like, you don't get to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get to just turn off being black one day. That's not how race works. That's not how identity works. You know what I'm saying? Like, a man can't just flip-flop and decide if he is a man or a woman between days. You got to make a commitment to that. If you're going to decide, you got to snip that shit off. You can't be a man and say, I'm about to be a woman, and to be like, never mind, I'm going to stay a man. You got to cut that.
So what could a white person do the equivalent of that, if anything?
Can a white person say they're black and then go back to saying they're white?
No, well, a white person.
I say, listen, you can support us, but stay your race. Keep your race. You don't have to be black to support black. Just like there might be organizations that are affiliated with white, and you're a black person. If you supporting that organization, why do you have to become white? It's just pure ignorance.
They're not going to let me become white to support them.
And she want to support the NAACP as a white woman. What's wrong with that? You don't have to change your race to support organizations or anything else associated with black people.
Would you listen to
what is this thing? I'm turning off the race and all. It's pure ignorant. What is being black? That's the thing. What is being black? I want to be black. Well, what is black? What is white? What is Asian? Well, it's just your race. You have stupid in every race. You have smart in every race. So tell me, what is the reason for you being black? And she would have been better off saying, hey, I'm a white woman and I support the NAACP I support all the organizations that the Black community does, as well as my own. And that's fine. She still loves her race, but she supports other nationalities. This it's just I'm telling you, it's being ignorant. It's just
And
pure
also, like,
ignorance.
as a white person, we need you to stay white and hold white people accountable. Like, they not gonna listen to you if they think you a black person too. That's kind of like all you did was.
Well, I
Like,
think all
I
these things,
truly get appreciating and identifying with the culture. To like shit, I identify with Egyptian and African culture, even though I can legitimately stake claim to those cultures because from what I know, my history and my lineage actually goes back to those places. But those people get offended if I say so. Africans don't typically take too well to African Americans. We know that's a problem in our diaspora that we be having to talk about sometimes.
okay.
Egyptians apparently don't like being called black.
Let's
So
speak
I'm
on
learning. I'm learning Spanish and Mandarin. Do I want to be Asian?
Dominicans and some
Do I want to
Hispanics
be
don't like
Spanish?
being
No,
called black
I just
either.
want to learn I just want to learn the language. I never woke up and say, "Hey, I want to be Chinese," but I want to learn Mandarin. That's
Like,
it.
even like, imagine if the Wu-Tang Clan said, not only do we fuck with Kung Fu and all that shit, but we'll also imagine if a racial draft from like the Chappelle Show actually happened.
Let's speak on this part right quick. I think that's related to a lot of things you guys said. Okay, a lot of African Americans have this hole in our history where we want to belong to African culture, and we want to relate to certain tribes, certain countries within Africa, and I think it's somewhat relatable, not all the way, but somewhat relatable. What I think what happened with Rachel Dolezal was, from what I understand, she didn't have a good relationship with her parents, and
black people don't have good relationships with our parents.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
A lot of kids that don't have good relationship with their parents or they're adopted, they have this hole within themselves where they don't feel like they belong, and they try to attach to a group of people, whether it's a gang, whether it's a race, where they feel like they belong. And I feel like that's what Rachel Dolezal did, because again, black people are very welcoming. We're the most welcoming group of people in the world, I feel. Despite the wrongs that have been done to us, we're very welcoming. We're very forgiving. And I think she felt that, and so much that she wanted to be a part of that. I don't think she was trying to, I could be wrong, I'm just saying what I see. I think that she saw this forgiving race, forgiving family of people that she probably got with, and she took it to the extreme and wanted to become it. And I think it's the same issue with the lady we were talking about earlier. She saw something which she probably didn't get as a child, where she didn't feel like she belonged. And she wanted to put herself in these group of people that are very accepting, and she wanted to belong. Yeah, people do that with religion too, where they don't feel like they belong to anybody, and they go to religion to feel like they belong to somebody. And I think that's, again, you could say some African Americans try to assimilate and just become Africans.
It was literally forced onto us. 9 times out of 10, a black group of people, hey, what you need to do is get right with God. So you're right. Yes, we will turn to something religious. We will turn to something, the other thing you said, I can't remember right off the top of my head. But yeah, we will turn to those other
family, religion. I don't think that's that much different than what she took it to extreme. Don't get me wrong. She did take it to extreme. But I think there is some similar parallels that a lot of us do. We don't feel like we belong to something. We seek out other groups that seem welcoming. And I think that's what all of them are doing. The only reason I, again, think that trans race will not, at least I don't think very soon, will become a thing, but I think one day it will, is because unlike all these other groups we named, no one quite sees the total value in becoming black. Because as you say, as Sparky said, and the rest of you guys have said, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. It ain't all sunshines and rainbows.
There's nothing that comes, like nothing.
Well, good dancing and basketball skills.
And it's like you claiming to be black because what you love the coach. You can't even do any of the black things. Like claiming to be black don't make you able to sing. It don't make you able to run no faster, jump no higher. You don't get the black benefits. You don't even be in the sun better. Like, you imagine having to keep up that lie, having to keep up your fake ass tan, knowing this is probably gonna give you melanoma. And ridiculous.
Okay.
Like, white people are trying to run away from their guilt when they do that. I truly can't get over that fact.
I think everybody got something like that, you know.
Because again, they don't let us claim any other race. The black is when Kyrie Irving just decided to do some research on himself and figure out, hey, I've been looking for myself. I'd like to find where I belong in something. I've been taught the Bible. I've been taught the Christian Bible. I've been taught these things throughout my life, and I'm actually seeing more connections as a black man in it than I've ever seen before. Actually, something that I've never seen before. He tried to identify, not even identify. He literally just tried to put niggas up on some information. And the black Israelites, they try to identify as Israelites, as the lost tribes of Israel. They do not get accepted. They literally get slandered by the ADL.
And why do you think that is?
Because they're black trying to claim another identity.
Value. The same thing with why I don't think trans race from white to black will be a thing, because people are like, are you serious? You really want to go over there? You want to go on that side? There ain't no value in that.
It's only a thing for people that.
That's why it's funny.
Yeah, it's sick to say. I hate to say it. It seems like it's only a thing for people that truly hate their whiteness. You gotta, and which means they hate themselves on a certain level. Like I feel like there's some type of spiritual karmic debt they're trying to repay, either from their ancestors or from a past life or some type shit like that. But yeah, like they don't let us claim another personality, because you know a little boy can wake up today and decide, mommy, I want to identify as a little girl. And the way our society is moving, we would have to say that's okay. Like Gabrielle Union literally just chewed out all of America because her stepdaughter is her stepdaughter, and literally pointed out directly, Black America has a problem with the trans community. It's not that we have a problem with these communities. It's that these communities, not that they've only existed or not has existed as long as us, but it's that more respect and value is given to these communities. It's more respect and value is given to being a part of these communities. You're not going to disrespect, attack, or hurt anyone from these communities, because there's going to be legal ramifications for those actions. There's going to be economic ramifications for the things that you do to these communities. But for the Black community, there's nothing like that. Like Rachel Dolezal didn't get no protection. She didn't get any benefits by being able to refer to herself as Black. So no one gave a fuck. That's why she was able to stay.
She did get a few African American scholarships, which
African American scholarships that are not going to get her anywhere. Like, so again, corporate America don't give a fuck about your Harvard University scholarship. That 6-year degree from A&T it's cool. I love it. My sister is A&T grad. Corporate America don't give no fuck. Like, what can you actually? Again, she could have done so much more as who she was as a white woman. That's like if a Black person decide, yo, I can only change racism if I decide to declare myself white. That's the only way white people will be cool with Black people. If I'm white too, if they can look at me, and if I could just call myself white, I guarantee you my problems would stop. A few of them, not all of them, but a few. I'd probably have some increased luck. Like you don't need much when you're, you know what I'm saying, when you're a charismatic white man.
Yeah, that's even kind of like depending on what your name is. Not like if you have an ethnic name, or whether you have a name that can pass, or what you sound like. You know, a lot of times, if you know, when you do business on the phone, some people sound a particular way on the phone, other people sound a different way on the phone. So, you know, depending on, just like your skin, depending on what your voice sounds like, people pass over the phone. You know, I have people do it all the time, and then people walk in the room and be like, "Oh, you're Black," or whatever. Yeah, they're Black, but you know, they wouldn't have responded to him that way. Yeah,
like you didn't expect what?
That's a form of being trans race right there. Sounding different or sounding like somebody or having a name that sounds ethnic like. That's a form of trans race.
That's what I'm saying. And they, at that point, are they, they using it to get in the door. They know that person on that other line thinks that they're white because of their name or whatever, or the way that they sound, which it's a shame that somebody has to sound white or sound black or whatever. You should just be able to sound
It's a
who
shame
you
that we
are.
have that kind of thought process, like that we've over years of speaking over so many different dialects and languages and shit that we've literally got down to a science that this is what you talk like if your skin is white, and this is what you talk like if your skin is black. Which
That's just like the other clip that I said, where Grant Cardone was talking about basically that they dumb stuff down for us, that they speak in street terms when they're trying to market to us, and they, like it's
the
not
freedom for me. I fucking hate Walmart's Juneteenth celebrations.
You hate Walmart's Juneteenth. What? Come back.
Like when they declared Juneteenth an official holiday last year, Walmart had some promotional stuff go along, some napkins, some balloons,
some ice cream or something like that. Yeah.
Very ethnic sayings on it. Like, when it's Christmas time, you'll get a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays and shit. So for Juneteenth, they had it's the freedom for me.
Freedom chocolate ice cream representing Juneteenth.
Oh, dag, I ain't see that. I didn't see
chocolate,
that.
but it was some ice cream saying like freedom Juneteenth ice representing Juneteenth, like because when slaves were freed, the first thing they wanted was a popsicle or something. So
and some napkins, popsicles, some like, I hate corporate.
We're free. We get ice cream. Oh, okay, great.
Okay, now let me ask you this on the flip side. Now, if Walmart never does anything to acknowledge Juneteenth, are we then mad on that side too?
We probably will be.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like we're mad. We're mad.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to get my Juneteenth stuff from Walmart.
Yeah.
And not that you want to get it from Walmart. It's not about getting it from Walmart. But what I'm saying is when we're not acknowledged, when they don't acknowledge Juneteenth, when it's not a holiday, when they don't make shirts for it, we mad. But
I would more or
start
less
trying to make shirts. Or they it's okay. When they do start trying to make shirts, and granted, whether it's cheesy or whatever, when they're not making any effort, we have a problem. But when they do make some type of effort, we still got a problem.
Yeah.
It's like
I would like it if they acknowledge the holiday, but yeah, I wouldn't buy nothing from decorations. You know what I'm saying? And not even like decorations or.
What about how Target just had in Black History Month? They just had all the black designers. When you walked in Target, they had the big display. Okay, so when you walked into Target, they had of course it was geared to Black History Month, but they had pictures of all the designers, the design and all the designs. Some of even in some of the shirts, the cotton came from a black-owned farm. Like they went through they took it all the way down to the cotton was processed by black-owned. It was black artists, black cotton, not black cotton, but a black farm.
Here's why I wouldn't do it. Because
what I'm saying?
Are they doing that all around the year, or are they only doing that during Juneteenth?
That's what I would say. That's what I was about. Yeah,
and that's what I was giving. I think that what Target did, I think, was something that was geared at Black History Month. And so they showcased those designers. A lot of those designers that they showcased, I may not have known anything about those designers.
Which is good.
I now am right. I'm now more aware, of the different designers. They showcased quite a few. They were from different mediums, all across different, so it gave me some other things to look at. And some of the proceeds I think went to particular things. But
so I guess yes, to answer your question, I would like acknowledgement and representation. I just want it to, I want it to be like that, authentic, informational. Like I want to learn from it. I don't want it to just be a cash grab. You know what I'm saying? Like just
like something else they can make money off.
Yeah, like just throwing Juneteenth on a pack of fucking Reese's Pieces because they're all brown. They took the orange pieces out and put in red and green ones.
Yeah.
It's Juneteenth M&Ms. It's just red, green, and black ones.
Well, my opinion
Yeah.
on Sparky is I never really cared for Juneteenth to be a national holiday. I prefer it to be like it was before, celebrated amongst us or celebrated like it's us at the barbecue. And here's why. Because Juneteenth, and I'm kind of even funny on that too. It's like, what exactly are people saying happy Juneteenth to? Because we were late freeing you? Because we didn't get the memo? We got the memo late to Texas to free slaves? And also, that's not, to me, it doesn't feel like a black accomplishment. It seems like an accomplishment for them. Like, hey, we freed you. So, hey, happy Juneteenth. It feels awkward to hear a door greeter say happy Juneteenth. For what? Like, if somebody says Merry Christmas, they're wishing you happy holidays, get good gifts, spend time with your family. Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. You spend time with your family. Hope you have a good time. What does happy Juneteenth exactly mean? It's confusing to me when I hear somebody say happy Juneteenth. What are you exactly saying happy to? That you were late freeing us? And that doesn't feel good to me.
It doesn't. I mean, honestly, let's look at it like this.
Black accomplishments, they're celebrating their accomplishment. Hey,
yeah, and that's why I was like, I don't know if I want.
Although we were late
America
freeing
to
you,
participate in.
we're going to make a holiday that celebrates that. And I don't know how the intake that. I don't know how I can understand another black person say, hey, okay, we were freed, but I can't internalize how it feels from a white person saying that. Happy Juneteenth. For what, though?
Yeah, because
That's
it'll make me
free,
say it's
but
like, so you know something? Like, do you like, was you responsible? Happy, like, are you happy? That like I would like, are you happy Juneteenth?
It's not even a happy situation, you know? It's
like
somebody getting surgery, you know, for a diabetic leg and getting it chopped off. You know,
so
like,
that's why I definitely,
but we chopped the leg off. I'm like,
that,
I mean, I'm happy. I guess I got some extra years, but I lost a leg in the process.
I hate the money is being made off of it. I hate that America has still found a way to monetize our. Yeah, I hate that they found a way to monetize that and not truly apologize. Still no apology.
And what LT was saying about the other thing that you mentioned. Yeah, that's a cash grab. That's, you know, the Target thing where they were just putting different designers out just during Black History Month. Like, we need that all year long, just like we need Black History all year long. You know, just don't do it now and just abandon us for the rest of the 11 months.
Mm-hmm. Because yeah, like shit be happening to Black people all throughout the year. Black women be getting shot in they sleep. Black men be getting shot as they just getting pulled the fuck over. Motherfuckers be going, like, things be happening to Black people all the time, and these places do nothing. Like, Brett Favre stole $12 million from poor ass Mississippi, and now poor ass Mississippi is about to get Jim Crow back into the fucking 50s. Like, things are happening.
Bring back hanging.
Things are happening.
Yeah, you see that where the Tennessee, the guy from Tennessee thought they should bring hanging back as a way of executing.
Yeah, I saw that shit, and I'm like,
yeah, I saw that. I was like, well, I got to put this in the chat.
Are we mad about the creator of Dilbert?
Oh yeah, he did something too. not that I ever read Dilbert, but I know of it.
I watched it as a kid because it was a cartoon that was on when I should have been asleep, but that's it. I don't remember it being funny. I just remember it being a cartoon.
See, I remember it from being in the newspaper, and even when it was in the newspaper, and you would get the funnies on Sunday. That was one that I would skip over. It's like, that shit don't make sense. Okay, that ain't funny. Go on to the next one.
I was reading my horoscope. Ain't shit funny in these motherfuckers.
All right. Yeah. All right. Let's move to the next story. Okay, so I didn't think this would come back up. It's been a long time. It's been like 2 years now. Not Kanye this time, but Jussie Smollett is back in the news.
Juicy.
The Nigerians that allegedly did the heist with him, the ones that were supposed to be pretending to be Trump supporters and that had beat him down and poured bleach over him and put a small rope around his neck. And
specifically, you said a noose. That nigga. Yo, I can run you through the whole situation. He said he left his Chicago apartment in the middle of winter at 12 in midnight to go to Subway, the sandwich location, to get a sandwich. He decided to walk instead of calling a cab, an Uber, a limousine, because you know you're not a famous TV actor, singer, whatever the fuck. He decided to walk by himself to a Subway that was open at 12 midnight in cold ass, winter ass Chicago, where he was then accosted by two MAGA hat wearing old white men that said, and I quote, "Hey, aren't you that F word, N word from Empire? Get him."
Because they
Proceeded to whoop and beat his ass, and then pour bleach on him and put a noose around his neck. At which point Juicy would stumble off to a nearby hotel, noose still around his neck, and ask for someone to call the police, for he had been a victim of a gay and racial hate crime. Gaycial hate crime.
And let's not forget that he also went to a concert like the next day and proclaimed himself to be the gay black Tupac.
The gay Tupac. The gay you said the gay black Tupac.
Yeah, because Tupac was
the gay and the black, because he definitely wanted black support and he wanted gay support. He was really trying to blend the communities. He was trying to bring us together, low key.
Yeah, and he used that community correctly because they were all, well, the LGBTQ.
I do not understand how he thought that this damn plot was going to work. I do not understand.
If you ever,
I want to be on his side.
Empire had some of the craziest plot lines on there, so I think he thought he was still acting when he actually was in reality.
Write this shit, god damn! This is an interesting development on and the show hasn't. This was before season 5, so I was like, oh shit, the story.
He got kicked off of the show because of this dumb shit.
Yeah,
the whole show had to end because of this dumb shit. He made all of them look, because I remember Taraji and Terrence. That's cute. Taraji and Terrence released. They filmed the video.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, hey, man. Hey man, just Juicy man, we got your back, man. You ain't gotta worry about nothing, man. And I know they felt so stupid. I know they felt they looked so stupid defending this nigga, because I was like, damn, someone did Juicy like that. But then I was thinking, I don't think nobody did that sound fake. It sounds so not, I don't think nobody did that. It sounds like some bullshit.
They were under pressure. They knew if they said anything against him, that they were going to be like, oh, you guys are homophobic. That's why you don't believe that actually happened. That's why a lot of people, we just remain silent.
That's why he threw in the nigger, like he's that F-word nigger.
We waited until all the information came out, and then we said, okay, we knew this didn't sound right in the beginning. And now the two brothers, the Nigerian brothers that helped him with this, they came out. And they made a whole video about what happened that night. They reenacted it. You seen this?
Play that shit. Look.
Okay, let me play it right quick.
Oh my god. Nigerians, it's always them.
Hold up. Let me connect it right quick.
It's always, they are poo shiesty. And damn. I'm sorry to say that about Nigerians, but them niggas make money.
Lord Trent, you are hilarious, boy.
I've been watching Nigerian. I literally just saw this video an hour before I got on here. This shit is fucking hilarious. Cause like 2 white men in Chicago wearing MAGA hats in Chicago at 12 o'clock midnight, just walking through the streets. And you telling me that 2 white men from Chicago was watching Empire enough to recognize that F-word, N-word from Empire? Let's get them, Skater.
Yeah, the MAGA hat thing won't surprise me. It was somebody, they watching Empire, they got rope.
If you're wearing MAGA hats and walking around with a noose, you're not watching Empire.
Why would you be walking around, unless you were Hillary Clinton, why are you walking around with just hot sauce in your pocket and bleach?
It was hot sauce. It was hot.
Both. It was both.
wrestling, moving around, and then I threw him to the ground. He wanted it to look like he fought back. That was very important for him because he said, hey, don't just beat my ass, make it look like I'm fighting back and whatnot. So we did that, and then I threw him to the ground. And after I threw him to the ground, he had no bruise. I wanted it to look more real. So then I threw him to the ground. After I threw him to the ground, I used my knuckle and gave him a noogie. So I went like this. Why did I do that? To give him a scar, to give him a mark, to make it look real, like he really did get his ass beat. After I did that, I fake kicked him. I don't know what he was doing. I wasn't paying attention.
That's where I came around with the bleach, the infamous bleach in the hot sauce bottle, poured it on his shirt. Then I finally put the rope around his face. I did not put it around his neck. I just placed it on his face, and that's when we took off.
Oh wow.
So yeah, they was
That
brothers.
was so dumb.
I gave him a noogie.
They started getting in a lot of trouble because in Chicago too, they got a lot of cameras everywhere in that city. At least the city where they were at. That's how they saw a lot of this stuff transpire. Then they saw what happened and how fake it looked. And I think LT said it too. Like, why would you wear the noose all the way from the beat
make
down,
it look like
all the
you
way to
should
the
be in my ass.
hotel? Take it off, dude. You ain't got to keep it on. It's like, well, now I'm gonna keep it on as evidence.
So that somebody else can see it. Yeah.
Look what they tied around my neck. I'm like, and I saw the piece of twine. That was no rope. That was twine. That thing wouldn't have hung nobody. It would have even hung a roach if they hung it around a roach's neck.
That shit.
If they were racist, then they were amateur racists, and I don't respect amateur racists. Get your game up.
What? How was a noogie gonna give him a scar?
I guess he really did.
Because he's so light, he figured it was gonna give him like that. That's how he got that red mark under his eye. That was from the noogie.
Yeah.
That's why it didn't turn black and blue. Because he didn't really break the blood vessel. He just
all this to get more money for the show, because that's what reportedly why he did it, was because he didn't think he was getting a big enough salary, because he didn't think he was as popular.
He had an album coming out. He wanted some more
Taraji, so he wanted a bigger salary. And then it was also talks that he was going to be written off the show maybe eventually anyway. So this is the way for him to get more notoriety. And to use the LGBTQ community and Black community to put his name out there even more than it already was. This is the price of fame. When you want too much of it, integrity gone.
Gone.
All right, so we're gonna leave that one. Go into our last story of the day. It's another video. Make sure this one pops up. The other one didn't pop up like I wanted to. Hadn't crazy on me. This one is about people who fear being happy. It's a thing. I deal with it every day. Not myself, but people I know.
I'm seeking therapy. If you want me to, I'm looking for a good therapist.
You're looking for a good
therapist. I love my therapist, boy.
I'm looking for a good motherfucking therapist. I want to sit down. I want to talk about shit.
They do online work, Sparky?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I only talked to her. I ain't never seen her in person. I've seen her like through Zoom.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But not like in person. I started maybe about a good month ago, which I used to go before anyway, but I just reached out because I was like, you know what, I need to talk to somebody. And so they actually paired me up with a good lady. I love Miss Pat. She she thinks she's West Indian or something like that, but she, you know what I'm saying, she be keeping me in line, you know what I'm saying? But she, she just talks, and I talk. I do more talking than anything, but the thing I think with that is you got to talk to somebody that you're comfortable with.
Right.
Got to get somebody that you're comfortable with, because if you get a therapist that you're not lined up with, everything you saying don't make no sense to them, because they ain't never lived that. They don't understand that. They have no idea what you're going through, how you feeling, none of that. So, I think therapy is great for everybody.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I'm in the process of getting a male therapist for my youngest son. Well, he's grown.
That's what I'm trying to find a Black male therapist. That is a bit of a stretch in my.
That's what I'm.
Anomaly.
But if I find somebody good though, Trent, I'll let you know. You know, we both in the Carolinas. And
Definitely.
because they do online stuff and Zoom and stuff now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to, like,
Yes.
I'll do those, but I want the, before I
For to actually
do,
go sit with
yeah,
somebody.
like I want the full therapy, experience. I want to sit down. Because I work in the room that I would also do my therapy, or yeah, that I would do an online therapy session in. So after doing like a little expose with myself and my therapist, I don't want to then have to work and create in the same space.
Gotcha.
Just a little separation. And plus, I
Yeah.
work from home, so I'll be needing to get out the house.
I got you.
All right. Let's see. Let's play this video right quick, and we're gonna get everyone's thoughts on this.
I spent 3 days during our honeymoon crying. At random moments, my wife would look at me and she would see me in tears. And she didn't know how to console or comfort me. Fear is an acquired taste. I had developed a fear to be happy. I lived my life in a perpetual state of, I want to be happy, I think I'm happy, I don't deserve to be happy. I'm just going to avoid happiness, because for me, happiness always was disappointment playing dress up. And so when I got married, I was afraid of being married because I did not think I deserved it. I was afraid of happiness.
Okay. And the question on this one is, well, is this a true thing to where people are just really afraid to go towards happiness that they'll run away from it? In his case, he's saying he was crying the night of his wedding because I guess he's feeling like he's in the state where he's going to be the happiest he's ever been. He's got the wife of his dreams, but he's almost afraid that it's going to mess up in the end, that things are going to go wrong, whether on her end or his end, and divorce is going to happen. And I just kind of want to hear everybody's opinion one by one. And we'll give people time on that. Like, do you think that is a legit thing? It's an actual thing. And why do you think that is? And LT, I'll let you go first on that, speak on that. We'll get 2 minutes on this, and just tell us your thoughts on that video, what you think about it.
Are you ready? Go!
I think happiness is definitely something you create for yourself. You cannot depend on another person to facilitate your happiness if you're not able to make yourself happy. And I do think, your biggest enemy is yourself as well. Sometimes we stand in our own way and we immediately speak negativity in our minds before, we start speaking negatively to ourselves mentally before we even say anything out of our mouths. And we kind of block our blessings in a sense. We talk to ourselves and talk ourselves down. Sometimes, like, people will tell themselves they are going to be fine at this job that doesn't pay them enough. You hate getting up. You hate going to this place. You feel like you're undervalued and not appreciated enough, but you're not going to ask for a raise. You're not going to take the time off because you haven't earned it yet, according to the company. You're not going to, care for yourself in the way that you truly deserve because you don't truly feel it. We tell ourselves these things because society has told us that, you have to work hard. We live in a capitalist society, so you have to work hard in order to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And until we feel like we've sacrificed or worked hard enough, we don't allow ourselves to truly be happy. And that's kind of the great lie of life. You can't get to happiness without mentally, emotionally, and physically allowing yourself to feel, express, and display happiness. Like, heaven and hell are not something that you experience after death. There's something that you create right here on this planet. We literally create hells of our own mind. The things we speak manifest into our physical world. So you can either do that in a negative way or you can do that in a positive way. We self-destruct all the time. We see that happen more often than not. And that's kind of this. We live in a society that kind of helps us do that. The food we eat, the media we consume, the things we do with our day. So, boom, happiness is what you make it. There's no such thing as a life that's better than yours.
All right. Sparky, what do you got to say on that? Give us your opinion about the video. What you think about it.
Are you ready? Go!
I think it's kind of a thing, I guess. I think it would kind of be like the same thing. Would be like people have like a fear of succeeding, or for a fear of success. Like sometimes when people go into business, they so busy over and now, analyzing something and this and this and that because we scared that, scared of success. I think you could be scared of happiness. I think that kind of would come from, like he was saying, having disappointments or thinking that as soon as you get happy, it's going to be taken away from you. I think is more where that would come from. And I think everybody kind of probably deals with that. Nobody wants to have an expectation of something and then it doesn't turn out to be what you think it's going to be. But do you live your life not being happy because you're scared that somebody going to take it away from you? Do you live your life not to the fullest because you don't want to give somebody the ability to snatch it from you? Then at that point you holding yourself back. You keeping your own self from being happy. So I guess in that it would really be what he's talking about. I guess you would be scared of it. It sounds weird to say, "Oh yeah, I'm scared of being happy," But when you really think about it and think about, I don't know if it's the scared of being happy or if you're scared that the happiness won't last. Not the happiness itself may not be scary. It's gonna, what would be scary is it being taken away from you. The feeling of having that happiness and then having it snatched, then you're going to know the emptiness of it. That probably, I think, would be the fear, but I can't tell that man what his fears is. You know what I'm saying? So, but it makes somewhat sense. I can see that. I can see that. So that's what we get into self-sabotaging.
Yeah, definitely.
Sabotage.
Okay. Preezy, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Just give us your thoughts on that video and what he had to say about having a fear of getting to happiness.
Are you ready? Go!
It's definitely some truth to it. It's about self-love and self-worth. And no one should be making you happy. You should already be happy. They're there really to make you happier. And when you don't have that self-love, that self-worth within yourself, you don't believe that you can be happy. It also can be from your past experiences. Hurt people. And so you might feel like, you had a lot of disappointments in your past and you haven't let go of your past. And so now when that right person comes along, you don't believe it because you have had so many situations that weren't good. So I think a person has to find themselves and love themselves and just let go of whatever was damaging you in the past so that you can grow and move on with that person that is probably good for you. But it all stems from you being happy. You have to be happy first before you even get involved with somebody. Nobody's supposed to be making you happy. That should already be there. But I do believe that people don't believe in that that things would be right for them. And that's the past. I don't think they let go of the past. And that's why they have these doubts. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Let me go right quick.
Are you ready? Go!
So fear is the dreams you grip tight onto from yesterday are the reality that you set forth tomorrow. And so what's happening, I think, with people because I have dealt with people like that in my profession, where they have told me, and this is fitness training where I deal with some people like this, where they've lost weight, right? They say they lost 20 pounds. And then the next week or next month, they go and try to weigh in and they've gained it all back. And I'm like, wait, what happened? Well, what happened? Why did you, self-sabotage? Did you eat a whole bunch of food, whatever? And she's like, yeah, I ate a buffet of food. And I was like, but you were doing so good. You were on your way to success. Why did you do that? And I've been told more than one time because I was afraid to succeed. Definitely does happen. And what I think would happen in his case, the guy video we saw, and a lot of guys or whatever that you've seen that are afraid of commitment is because they've seen other relationships and they've held on to those dreams or nightmares from those relationships, and they've made that their reality that could happen to them. That's the fear that they will not let go. And until they get therapy, talk it out, they're going to hold on to it. And that's why that guy probably was in fear. It's not that the woman he was with was a bad person necessarily. He portrayed wherever it happened onto other people, his parents or whoever, onto himself. He could do everything great in the world, but if you have that fear and you've turned that fear into your reality, then you're going to be afraid of success. It sounds strange, but there's a lot of people like that. There's a lot of people that have been in great situations and will turn to drugs and ruin their success.
Drugs.
You've heard a lot of celebrities like that, they're having great careers, and then all of a sudden they, their self-esteem is low and they feel like they need to lower themselves along with other people and do drugs or hang out with the wrong people, and they self-sabotage their careers and never quite get where they're supposed to be. Maybe that happened to the DeBarge family. I don't know. They got a lot of bad history with drug use, but they've had a lot of success where you think they should make it out from where they're at. There's such a successful group. Why would they even put themselves in a situation like that? There's a lot of people like that that really are afraid of success, and they will self-sabotage themselves and not understand why. It's due to fear, due to something that happened in their past, more than likely. Subconsciously, some people actually know that they're doing that, and that's the other crazy thing about it. At least this guy is able to acknowledge that. He acknowledges that he is afraid what could happen in his marriage, and he's crying on his honeymoon. That's supposed to be the happiest time, the happiest day.
I'm saying he
almost your whole life, and he's doing this. So some people are very aware of this, and they still can't stop themselves from doing that.
Nothing even matters. Shout out Lauryn Hill for that song. This is crazy. This is crazy.
That's not that's very common, believe it or not. When people self-sabotage, it comes in different forms. His just happens to be.
Oh yeah, definitely. If fear of success, fear of who you're meant to be is a lot. It calls coming to responsibility in question. You have to be more responsible. You have to be more mature. You have to let childish things go. It's a sign of mortality. It's a sign of aging. It's a sign of that life is not forever. Things are changing, and you have to be accustomed to change.
Yeah, I think it's a sign of not thinking you're enough, too.
That too.
Yeah, I think that's what he thinks. I think all the people
inadequacy
earlier, inadequacy. They don't think they are enough, and they will be exposed eventually. And it really hits them on the wedding day. It's probably hitting them on the wedding night. It's like, and he's probably an ultra successful person in many walks of life, but this right here, he probably has trauma from other experiences related to marriage, and he's like, I'm an imposter. What am I doing? There's no way I should be married to this woman.
I'm a buster.
Yeah. It happens in many, many, many walks of life,
I see it all the time in my line of work. You said that.
Yeah, I've seen. Anybody else got a opinion on that? Conversation on that? Speak now.
Or forever hold your peace.
Oh, forever hold your peace, or you're gonna be crying on the honeymoon.
Nah, I think it happens though. I agree with it.
What do you think?
I think it's good that he knows it. I think it's good that he knows it, so that hopefully he can try to do something about it. No one is half the battle. But even in that, you're going through life kind of thinking about, okay, well, I know I'm scared to succeed, so I just gotta kind of push through and try to succeed. That's a hard one. I think a lot of times, huh?
So where you hear that a lot at people who go to certain jobs, when that phrase "fake it till you make it."
Yeah. Cap. I call
I think a
cap.
lot of times people have been faking it and been faking it their whole lives. You know,
Mhm.
that fake
They
it till
never
you
been
make it.
reeling it. Yeah, they never been reeling.
Mhm.
You
Maybe
know,
that's what happened to Jesse. He was,
Juicy. Yeah, I mean he was raised in Hollywood. You know, his sister being famous.
that's true.
their whole family has. Think about it. Their whole family used to be in the TV show.
That boy
All of them
used
when
to
they were
he
all little
used to spin in
kids
the
and all of
narrative,
that. Yeah, like since
Oh
they were like
yeah.
young.
playing a
Yeah, all
role.
of them.
Man,
They
that
were
boy used to
all
play in
in
a
the
part.
TV show.
The
Mhm.
little sister, wasn't she in Eve's Bayou and
Yeah, she
Uh-huh.
was.
Yeah, that's the
Temptation?
sister from
Something with
East.
Tyler
Yeah.
Berry, Tyler Perry,
She was in
Temptation or
Roll Bounce.
something.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Prison.
Yeah, but coming up, like
Roll.
back in the 80s, I don't know, it was a TV show that all the brothers and sisters, that's how Jesse and the sister first got introduced to acting. It was a TV show
Okay.
back when they about
Mhm.
when Punky Brewster was out.
I ain't know.
And they were all on there, and so they've been in it forever and a day. Even I think their parents were in the business somehow. Like
Hollywood
they've been
kids,
around
man.
it. I can't
The
believe that's
sister, she was in on Martin. She was about 6 when
She
Martin
was
yeah,
was
that's
on
what
Martin.
I'm
playing at
She
saying.
Santa
always,
They
yeah, she
Claus.
always played the
She was
cute little
about
kid.
5, 6 years old.
She always played a
yeah.
cute, wise, cracking little kid. Hey,
Yeah.
mister, this is my lemonade stand or some shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Yeah.
ultimately, yeah, I think it's an imposter syndrome that comes with how he's feeling, and a lot of these other people that become afraid of what happens if they're put in a situation where they have to carry a job or become a good musician, good singer, and they're put like somebody goes to sing the national anthem. They've been singing at churches and Chitlin Circuit or whatever, and then they be put on the national stage, and their voice cracks. They've been confident doing it in front of hundreds of people, but then when they put it in front of 1 million people, it's like, oh, okay, this is the real thing. What's so different now? I still got the vocals, but I'm afraid to succeed. What's going to happen if I come successful at this? People are going to be reaching out, and now I'm going to be famous. I'm never going to be in private anymore. People are going to be in my business all the time. All these things fall into their head when they start to singing, and then they mess up. They don't ever sing right again. Kind of like Fergie when she did that NBA All-Star game, but it's probably not her example.
It's the
because
law
she
of
didn't.
attraction.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's the law of attraction, though. If all you keep thinking about is that you're gonna mess up, how you mess up, what if I mess up? Well, that's what you're attracted to yourself. Because that's all you keep thinking about. That's all you keep putting your energy towards is messing up, or what if, or the. So eventually, not eventually, but I mean, it like comes to that because that's all you've been putting your whole focus on. You can't even
Right.
see yourself succeeding. If you can't see it, you can't be it. Like if you can't even envision or imagine what it would feel like to be successful, how you ever gonna get there?
How you gonna
Exactly.
do it?
You can't even see yourself doing that, So you
Damn it.
keep sap. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Unfortunately, that's how it is for some people.
Right.
You got to deal with that past trauma before you can move on and become a
That
success.
baggage off.
Say, what you say?
So you gotta drop that baggage off.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Baggage. Till you get
We
rid of
all
that
have it.
baggage.
Yeah, we all have it. You got to do the work.
Or at least check it in somewhere, you know what I'm saying? That shit above you or something. Like if you're gonna carry it on or something, just like make sure it's travel size or something. Go to therapy.
Y'all think of a situation where you've kind of been in that before in life, where you feel like
And what?
I'm not good enough for the situation, and you kind of cracked under pressure.
Teenage. What is being a teenager? Excuse me. Also, what is being young 20s? Like what is being human being?
So that would be a yes.
I mean, I think that I think that we go through that in life. I mean, like I know even for myself in different things that I do, like okay, like in real estate, being a realtor, I'm not the one to necessarily like to put on a bunch of suits or whatever. That's not my thing. I'm kind of low maintenance. So when you go, to different, like a matter of fact, I had a business meeting yesterday. You go to a sales meeting or whatever, you already walking in you know, you dress however you dress, you are who you are. You got to be confident in that because you're walking into a room of other people that have, you know, sold millions of dollars, you know, been in the business for years, you know, different things. And so you walk in, a lot of times I might be walking into a room full of old white men. You know, it might not be a lot of people that look like me, you know, different things like that. And so you get in there and you kind of feel, or they try, sometimes you kind of feel inferior or maybe a little bit of intimidation. Sometimes I feel like people try to make you feel that way also. You know, sometimes you feel like you might not deserve to be at the table, and in that, you know, you move a little bit timidly. But the best thing to do is to get in there and get your foot in, you know, and then make it do what it do. I don't have no problem selling a house, you know, or whatever. But it's still when I go into those situations, I could feel, you know, a little bit, you know, I'm like, okay. Especially like out when we were out with COVID and you're not really dealing with people face to face. So, you know, you're going back into environments and being around other people. You know, try to carry myself a particular way, but I know that, you know, every once in a while somebody might be talking about something and I might not be aware of what they're talking about or up on it or whatever. And it can be that feeling of, oh, let me go back and study that. Or, oh, let me make sure that cause that went over my head or whatever. And sometimes in that, you know, in that moment, you know, that can make you feel some kind of way. You know, what you gonna do? Tuck your tail and run? You know, or you gonna stay in there, listen to the conversation, get a good context, you know, and be able to flow with them and then figure out the rest of it on the back end. So yeah.
I think too, the mentality with that separates a lot of people that succeed and don't succeed is looking at, and maybe this doesn't fall into the marriage part, and it could, mistakes being finite. A lot of people look at mistakes as being, you know, finite, like, well, shoot, I messed up, that's the end, instead of looking at it as a learning experience and a way to help me progress further in whatever aspect it could be, your career, sports, even marriage. If I make a mistake in marriage, it's just the end for me. And I think that's probably what he looks at it as, is if I make one mistake with my wife or my kids, that's it for me. Maybe because he's seen that before where it was a mistake. And that's where marrying and being with somebody who's understanding that, you know, mistakes are not the end all to everything, that we all make mistakes and we're able,
like, are you super worried that you super worried that you're gonna make a mistake to end it, or that they're not gonna forgive you for your Are you super worried that you're not gonna be able to change your behavior either? Because mistakes, I'm not gonna say mistakes are fine, but yeah, I mean, mistakes fucking happen. So it's like, are you making mistakes, or can you not change the way you do things? Is that what you're afraid of? Like, I forget to take the trash out sometimes, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? That's literally just, that can be fixed by me setting a reminder to take the trash out and then doing it. That's, you know, a way to change behavior. So if the fear is stemming from a fear of having to change something within myself that I don't know if I'm capable of doing, then yeah, you should have probably put more work into you before you made it this other person's job to accept you for all of your flaws. You should have put more work into minimizing your flaws. You know what I'm saying? Or at least getting a handle on managing them, addressing them.
Right. I mean, and I'm just saying, in some aspects, you can be, not say mistake free, but the smallest mistakes can become the biggest problems in a marriage if you don't have an understanding partner. And you could be afraid of that.
Time will
But
tell.
he said he ain't say he was a fear of failure though. He's a fear of the success.
Right.
So so you know he ain't even fear of it going bad. You know,
we have a fear of success that
going good.
We tell ourselves that failure is a more realistic option than success, because we're so afraid, because we're so comfortable. We're either so comfortable, so used to, or like have some type of trauma that just doesn't allow us to envision success, to envision happiness in a way that, you know, would truly make us happy. We feel like we gotta suffer.
I kind of think that's what he's saying too, without saying it. Like, marriage is the success, but he fears it's going to go downhill. I don't think it's necessarily the success, but I think he's fearing once he gets on top, the fall is going to be steep.
It won't last. Yeah.
I think that's what it is, more so than the
Can you
success.
imagine being on your wedding night and you didn't marry somebody and then they sitting there crying and they like, I'm just happy of us succeeding.
Wouldn't that make you
Looking
feel
at them
bad too?
like, that's what I said.
Yeah,
Can you
like,
imagine how that would make you feel? You looking at them like, okay, you fear of us succeeding. So what? We
yeah,
did all
like,
this for us to fail? Like
Right.
we did all of this and you already think that we're gonna fail, or that's what the trajectory is because you're scared of it being successful. So yeah, that would have blew my. I think that would have been mind blowing. I mean, it's great that he's being open and honest and y'all can work through it, but it would be like, whoa,
It's negative energy.
yeah.
yeah, on the front end, on the wedding night.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
Nothing gonna
said.
happen that night.
It's gonna be,
Just messed that up, bro.
yeah. The only wetness is on the pillows and all these fucking tears.
Yeah, it's coming from the
Right.
eyes, not nowhere else. Yeah.
Only sounds are soft, manly weeping. Mm.
Somebody hear that through the wall, like, damn, she gave it to him so good, he crying over there.
Yeah, like that's some tender love they're making, some tender Disney love type shit.
Could that happen during sex too? It's like, oh, I'm afraid to orgasm because shoot, I thought I was gonna fail, so I
If
stopped
that-
and started crying.
What if that's what it
Yeah,
was?
I was scared of succeeding, so I just.
Why'd you stop
Man.
for? I was afraid you were about to come. Damn it!
Yeah, I make you come now.
Good night.
Like,
Good night.
Or
yeah, that's.
you won't want to come again.
I hope there's a 2-bedroom.
No, there's a couch.
Reason
Though.
to
I'm
put them
sure
in the
enough. I'm sure enough going to the other room.
So there's a couch
me
though.
too. Right on the couch.
Going to the little pull-out joint.
I don't know if we're gonna have a deepest thought thing because this video thing is messing up with me over here. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can push it up. Technical difficulties over here. Let me see. Let me see if it actually plays. If it does, then we got a deepest thought. If not, then we're just going to end the show with that one.
I can make you thought.
Well, I guess not, because it's not even looking. The sound ain't even good on
I'm about to
this.
say, like, does she sound like? She ain't sound like that.
She ain't gonna sound like that, but it look like that's what she's gonna sound like today.
Oh, I saw.
She's supposed to be drinking through some liquor here and through a
Oh,
cardboard
stupid.
tissue. Like,
She almost drowned.
yeah.
Ass.
Now she
Tricks
caught-
are for kids. How? Sorry.
That's
but-
her challenge. She did some challenge with the tissue roll.
Yeah, for some reason. I don't know why that's a challenge. Dude.
Crazy.
Why she died?
The girl almost drowned. Right in her
then
kitchen.
She said, "Oh, don't try this challenge. Don't try this challenge. It's not as dumb as hell."
It's
Just like you were trying this challenge out.
I hate seeing people throw up. Be nasty.
So what did she try to do? Drink some liquor through the toilet paper tube?
Yeah,
Just
Smart.
make it as like a big straw.
yeah.
That's
and she choked.
stupid. That is dumb. Yeah, like,
Well, most of these challenges are dumb.
and just a waste of liquor and drink. Like you,
And video.
and like, and yeah, because what you even need a bit. One, did you use? Was that used
Oh, more
toilet
like
paper?
Had to
Like,
be.
so it's been in the bathroom near where you dookie at. Ew.
Yeah, you don't just a tissue roll out nothing. You got to go through it.
I don't like none of that. I don't like that she did that. I don't like that she did that and recorded it and showed it to the world. I don't like it.
Okay, well, that's the end of our show tonight. I'd like to thank LT Lord Trent for coming on. Sparky T, Preezy.
All right now.
Should I don't know if I should thank Dr. She came on.
Dr.
Yes.
Lord,
She's been sitting in the background.
She'll be back.
She'll be
She'll be on for next
when the
week.
show is over.
Yeah, I know, right?
She gonna come
All
back
right,
on.
y'all. I'm back.
Yo, you know what you should do? And she come on, you should play Ready, go, and nobody.
I know, right?
What's the topic, y'all?
She gonna start talking.
Nah.
All right, so I got a story for I
Yeah,
heard what y'all.
Got Lamar on a date right now, probably. And she gonna tell us about it next time we see her.
Dr. Lamar, I can't.
Okay. But thanks for everybody coming on the show, getting some hostile therapy, not because you want it, but because you need it. And we will see you on the next show that we come out on Thursday at 7:00. Y'all have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night. Peace.
Go towards success. Don't be
Peace
afraid
out.
of it. Peace.